Welcome to HITC Sport, and who cares? Who actually cares? Why am I even doing a video on this? Because views, Irish guy, think of the views. So Raheem Sterling and Joe Gomez have been involved in an
X-rated bust-up.
Except, not really. They just had a bit of a lunchtime scuffle in the canteen. To the extent that the media are now breaking stories of Gomez's life-threatening facial injuries. A light scrape underneath his right eye. Yeah. Now yes, while Sterling does seem like the type to have acrylic nails the length of a golf club, that could have been from literally anywhere. Gomez could have just been scratching his face. Might have come in contact with a cat on a menstrual cycle, anything. For Christ's sake, if those are the extent of the injuries from a fight, it's like documenting an X-rated car crash, only for the damage to just be a piece of bird shit on the windscreen. Listen, we all know the story, right? Gomez and Sterling squared up to each other during the Liverpool-Man City game of the weekend, with the latter clearly forgetting he was about a foot shorter, with half the body mass. I mean, fair play to him, but don't get this twisted. If this was an actual fight, Sterling would have his arms stripped clean off his shoulders and tossed in a bin. Then again, the last time I predicted the winner of a boxing match, I was forced to eat a rotten sandwich. So my prediction, which I'm putting out there, I'm guessing KSI was firmly knocked out on the canvas in round 2. I'm guessing that. And if I'm wrong, I will devour an expired sandwich live on air. Oh, I hate KSI. So Gareth Southgate has now dropped Sterling, and so now large sections of the British media, the type who have had to swallow their agendas for fear of having their corporation burnt to the ground, but now they finally have something mean to say about him. For months being forced to leave their agenda at the door and write just nice stories about the former bling boy love rat. It must have been about as natural for them as tossing your uncle underneath the kitchen table. Again, this might be common practice in Blackpool, but will be quite alien for the rest of the world. But now don't worry lads, alright? You can rip Sterling to shreds. Tell us again that he's another multi-millionaire spoiled brat, only now you could add bully to the list of synonyms. Yeah. Just to prove my point, I mean, here's a headline written by Ian Ladyman. Oh, high school must have been tough.
Raheem Sterling's bust-up highlights the perils of putting young sports stars on a pedestal.
Ha! It was just unpredictable, wasn't it? Go on, lad. This is your moment. Tear him right back down. Tell us he's a despicable excuse for a human being, a no-good thug, whose very nature is to try and attack his teammates at the slightest piece of provocation. I'm sure there's the same fellow who probably chucks old ladies off escalators, feeds his dog bowls of gravel, and no doubt collects DVD box sets of The Only Way is Essex. What a horrific human being. But no, I mean, this shouldn't even be news. I shouldn't even be doing a video on this. It is just a non-event, and to be honest, I don't think he should even have been dropped by Gareth Southgate. I mean, don't get me wrong, it won't make a blind bit of difference against Montenegro. Lads, you could stick Andros Townsend on the wing and you'd still win the bastard game. No lads, you can even stick me out there and win. I'd rather devour a bowl of broken glass than put on a 3-line shirt, but you get my point. Christ lads, you have people climbing out of the woodwork, clogging up my newsfeed with stories about these two. For Christ's sake, this is apparently a newsworthy article.
Steve Avery. Joe Gomez is a competitor, but he never lost his temper at Charlton Athletic.
You have journals digging around these lads' former clubs for a goddamn character reference. With all due respect, what person on the planet cares what the Charlton Academy manager thinks of this? Why not just ring up Sterling's PE teacher for a quote? Maybe interview Gomez's pet dog? This doesn't need to be a story, for the love of God. It's like the litany of useless YouTubers cashing in on the KSI versus Logan Paul fight by clogging up the internet with hundreds of their own terrible verdicts.
Oh, I served KSI a Subway when he was 12. I'm pretty much his best mate and I think he's doing really well.
Ridiculous. But yeah, what actually happened in this? They had a 4-second skirmish in the biggest game of the season. 24 hours, Sterling bypasses the canteen ladies doling out sloppy joes with all the enthusiasm of Susan Boyle's couch to reportedly grab Gomez by the throat and ask, "Still the big man?" Well, by very definition, yes. You look like some sort of hobbit creature compared to this giant. Look, Sterling has apologised and they've since trained together. What is the big fuss about? Just forget it, for the love of God. It's not a goddamn story. If you want to see teammates going at it, look at when Craig Bellamy tried to break John Irich's ankles with a golf club. Back in my day, we had things like John Terry versus Wayne Bridge. The drama, it was like a storyline lifted straight out of Dream Team. Or that incessant load of sperm that they call Hollyoaks. The shock, the horror, the scandal. This story, by contrast, isn't even worth the paper it's printed on. Two players angry at each other. Same two players still angry at each other 24 hours later. What's honestly wrong with this? Two footballers squaring up to each other on a football pitch. Alright, so what? It's passion. As long as they're not trying to turn each other into sweaty cottage pie, swinging like the drunken hillbillies as per Boyer and Dyer, what is actually wrong with this? It shows they want to win. They're fighting for the badge. Is it not better than at the likes of Manchester United? A group of near robots who look like they're going through the motions without a flicker of passion in their eyes. Yeah, it probably shouldn't have carried on to the next day, but again, it's natural. These things happen. Sterling had basically been tossed like Gimli out of the two towers across the Anfield pitch in front of a baying crowd, probably calling him every name under the sun for at least 2 hours. He'd just seen his title challenge pretty much flitter away before his very eyes, and we're not even at Christmas. He's got to be frustrated, upset, and especially the next day, he's not going to have cooled off. It happens. It's natural. It's human emotion. So can we please leave the guillotines to one side? Stop trying to have this man hung in the street. It's fine, alright? Move on. And Southgate, you've overreacted massively, dropping your best player, and yes, Harry, he is the best player, because of a skirmish in the canteen. It's like divorcing your wife because she accidentally burnt the Sunday roast. I mean, come on, there's bigger things to worry about. What else happened during this slow, cumbersome international break? Well, the Chelsea fine system's been leaked, and lads, what sort of planet are football clubs living on? If you're late for a match day or training, you're fined $2.5 grand. If you're late in the gym, you're fined £1,000. Thank Christ James Corden isn't part of the squad, or he'd probably be bankrupt after the first week. I think if you ever cross the threshold of a gym or dare to set foot on a treadmill, the man would probably burst into violent flames. If you're late for a team meeting, you're fined £500 a minute. That is most people's rent. If you're late for training, £20,000. £20,000. If your phone rings during a meeting, £1,000. £1 grand for forgetting to put it on f***ing silent. And again, if it was up to Roy Keane, that offence would probably come with a prison sentence.
Whose phone is that? That's the second time it's gone off.
But lads, I mean, come on, is this Chelsea Football Club or some sort of Vietnamese prison? Christ, but like what next? You're gonna get fined £6 grand for accidentally sneezing through dinner? Half your weekly mortgage for untied shoelaces? Then again, all these players will make more in 1 year than I will in my entire life. So I guess it's all relative. I wonder how much they would fine you if you disrespected the manager, refusing to come off the pitch in a cup final. Oh, that's right, nothing happens. You instead just get rewarded with a pay rise and a longer contract. Lads! Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. Bit of a short one, but there wasn't much news this week, alright? But hey, stay tuned, got some big videos coming, including the 10-year anniversary of the Henri Handball. That's coming the 18th of November, where I finally quench those demons that same night, as we can get rid of November 18th as the day Henri ruined our lives, and replace it with the day that Ireland qualify for Euro 2020. Oh, that is going to be absolutely delicious. I cannot wait. Anyway, lads, try and hit 400k as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You'll be an absolute legend. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.